I cannot clarify it on behalf of my defense ministry. They said it, but this information is very worrisome. We have information, we have footage, coverage of people speaking of how the accident was actually staged in the hospital that was widely broadcast. We have other video materials that we would be willing to provide to the general public to see as a proof of a fake that is used for very dangerous purposes.
Ambassador, yesterday you spoke about the concern of war and in particular about U.S. and Russia. Is this possibility still stands, and is there military coordination? The deconfliction agreement is still working between U.S. and Russia as we speak?
Don't misinterpret me. I was not beating the tug of war yesterday. I was just saying that the situation is so dangerous that we cannot exclude anything, and hopefully the channels of communications are working, but not through me. So I cannot tell you how they are working. But I hope that appropriate communication is going through appropriate channels.
And about diplomatic effort, the Swedish draft, can you?
These are our diplomatic efforts that you witnessed today. And I think that the best thing I can do is to quote the ambassador of Bolivia, who said a key phrase. He said, "You cannot pretend to uphold international law by violating international law." And that's exactly what we say enveloping. Prove it first, then we'll talk about it. Because before anything was proved, they were already searching for the word. They were already designated culprits. Okay, there is no mission yet there. It just arrived. It has to confirm that any accident can be told. To provide some conclusions at least, but they don't need any conclusions. They said they are the culprits, they have to be punished.
Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Ambassador, in 1973, Russia, at the time the Soviet Union, and the United States had a kind of a similar confrontation in the Middle East. Very similar because nuclear became, after the Cuban Missile Crisis is considered the most dangerous moment. Do you see any similarity? Because at that time, President Nixon was very close to impeachment. Do you see any similarity of the situation? Your Deputy Secretary of Foreign Affairs just said that the foreign policy of the United States cannot depend on the mood of somebody waking up in the morning. What do you have to say about that?
I will not comment these words. In 1973, I was too young to remember it. I'm same age as the Cuban Missile Crisis. That is much more spoken about. But of course, what the Secretary General said today, if you notice that, he said that. He said something to the extent that the Cold War came back with a vengeance, but unfortunately today we have not the appropriate mechanisms that existed during the proper Cold War. And that is indeed a problem. That is indeed a problem. We were too complacent to think that nothing of that would happen anywhere, anytime in history anymore. But unfortunately, we are witnessing that the situation is developing very dangerously, and the proper lines of communication, the proper communication that existed in much more difficult times, does not exist today. But I hope
but
that.
You don't see any similarity in '73 in the White House and what's happening now in the White House with the problems that President Trump has?
Who told you President Trump has problems? I mean,
we see the Twitter every day, every morning.
I don't read tweets, so I'm free of being obliged to analyze them.
Ambassador, just one question about OPCW team on Saturday that they will arrive to Syria. Can you tell us what Russia is doing to ensuring the team start their investigation? And also, do you think they will get to Duma on Saturday, or they will just start their investigation?
We said ASAP. We said you need to be there as soon as possible. There are, of course, some technical things, procedures that they have to implement, and they were telling that they would need that. We said that we would provide security. Our military police is now in Duma, and I understand they will be entrusted with providing this security. Let's see when it starts. Our interest is to start it as soon as they can. The sooner the better.
Saudi Arabia and UAE have been supporter and founder of terrorism. Do you have any plan?
Who announced?
Saudi Arabia.
Who said?
President Trump.
He said yes. He said that.
Saudi Arabia and UAE have been supporter and founder of terrorism.
Of terrorism.
Yes.
He said when?
Yeah.
When?
To meeting of Qatar Emir.
I didn't say the quote. Anyway.
Do you have any plan or anything to bring them accountable?
Who?
Saudi Arabia and UAE.
We don't have this information.
One more question. Do you see any connection between the affairs of Salisbury and Duma?
Yes, we see, and we were saying that this is not accidental or incidental.
Yeah.
Of course, they are related.
When they failed in
And
Salisbury,
even today, I said that they are trying to put Russia in the center of all those conspiracies, which they put in the center of the international discussion. And, next week we have another episode of the chemical serial, which will be Salisbury. We're looking forward to it. I'm sure we'll entertain you with more information on that when we discuss.
Thank you.